Welcome to PlayStation Esteemed Gamers. My name is Benny, and that is Houston. And today we're going to talk about what constitutes a hardcore versus casual relationship with a video game. And I know we've had similar discussions here on the channel before, but with all the discussions we have about live service titles, we had a fun incident happen to us that we want to tell you about and then discuss this again. Because it became interesting. It became more of a topical thing for us because we actually had to have the debate over what constitutes. Now, when someone thinks casual versus hardcore off the top of their head, the general idea is casual will get on whenever they're available. A hardcore person is pretty much going to do whatever it takes to get done with something in a timely manner, the most efficient way possible, right? A hardcore gamer, in my opinion, would set aside days out of the week to ensure that they accomplish certain goals, such as a raid in Destiny, which I do I don't know why I look at it that way, but which I do every Saturday, or a raid in Final Fantasy, which I also do a Saturday. That'd be more of a hardcore commitment to a game. Would you agree, Houston?
To an extent. I would say setting one day aside to do it isn't very hardcore.
Okay, but there has been days that I've done 4 days in a week.
There have been. Yeah. I would say hardcore is this is your life.
Right.
This game. You are spending.
It's on your priority list. Eat, sleep, pay your bills, spend time with a significant other, make sure you knock out this thing in the game.
Because the way you play Destiny to me is not very hardcore. You get on, you do the raid, you call it. 2 hours, you're done. You've played 2 hours a week.
That's true. Well, new season, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Well, new season, at the start of a season, yes, you play a bit more. But then as it goes by, you stop. It's not like you're farming for that one thing to drop with those 2 specific roles you need. And you're going to do it 5 to 10 hours a day until you get that piece of loot.
But I have done that in like Final Fantasy, and we both have done that in games like Monster Hunter, where we log on almost a nightly basis to ensure that we get the proper things in that. But that brings us, now people would assume that you would assume casual versus hardcore debates would be primarily limited to games that have live service titles, such as Destiny's Raid. How much do you farm that extra piece? How much do you farm in Division? How much of the loot are you grinding in Avengers? Or how much of the latest tier raid have you done in a Final Fantasy title? Right. That's what people would assume a hardcore quantifies to. Another one we don't normally mention because neither of us plays it consistently would be WoW. WoW would be one where you're like, I'm mythic raiding. I go 5 or 6 times a week. I have to prep all of my gear. I have to do all this work. Those would be considered hardcore accomplishments. Hey, I'm pushing. I'm going as hard as I can for these things that I want to do. Casual, at least under my point, would be I get on, I do as much as I can in a day. I might not get on for 3 days because I don't have the availability to do so. I might get on once a week. I do as much as I can when I'm available, but it is not a priority. And I think that's the big quantifiable difference between a hardcore person and a casual person. A hardcore gamer will make getting that goal a priority. They won't do extra things. They won't go play other games. They won't do... It's literally in their daily routine, while a casual person will do it when they're available. But it's not. They're not going to cancel plans to do that thing. Does that sound like a good way to put it?
I would agree with that, yeah. Okay. Casually, you're playing casually. You'll get on. Hey, maybe you do get on every day, but maybe you play for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah, like I do that with Honkai.
That casual. Yeah.
I shift back and forth between hardcore and casual with Honkai. I get on every day to at least do my bare minimums, but there's some days I'll go crazy on that game.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't take me saying we had guild drama in a mobile game seriously. You and I play mobile games on a regular basis, and I don't think you would take it seriously if I said, hey, we had guild drama over hardcore versus casual in a mobile game. Would you?
No.
If you didn't know what had happened and I came to you and said you were not going to believe the guild drama that I'm getting on my latest mobile game.
I talked to my friend about it and they were just like, okay, yeah, here we go.
Houston and I have been embroiled in a hardcore versus casual debate based upon a mobile game. And I want to clarify, we're not crapping on mobile games. I literally have one going on my other screen right now. We play probably 5 or 6 on a regular basis. Now, when it comes to a mobile game, What would you consider to be a hardcore gamer, Houston?
Oh, well, because of the story, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell. But for this, I would consider to be a hardcore person. You don't have a budget. You buy when you want. You are on hours a day farming. You are consistently making sure you're doing your guild content. You are consistently making sure your team is the peak performance. You are consistently talking with your guild to improve yourself. I mean, we both do this in other games besides the one we're going to talk about here soon. So my biggest things are you don't care about pay to win. You will pay. You don't care about how much time it takes to invest into this game. You will invest it, even if it's just on farm for 20 hours of your day. Even while you're sleeping, you have it farming sometimes.
I've done that on other games.
I have too. Where the casual approach to me is, you'll get on.
One thing you didn't mention, which I normally quantify as a more hardcore approach to a mobile game, using an exterior site to track your stats.
Oh, yes, that as well. I forgot about that.
Which is normal for things like WoW and Final Fantasy. We have the exterior sites, but that's when you're crossing that hardcore casual line, when you're using all the tools at your availability. Those exist for mobile games as well. But that's when you're crossing that line, especially in a mobile game where you have to take that extra, like it's on my phone, so now I got to go on the website, link up 2 accounts, and it's a whole thing. So
there's that too. Where casual is, you're not going to use outside resources. Oh, another one, Discord is being required now, so you can communicate with the guild more effectively. Now, where casual is, you don't have a Discord. You get on when you want. You might throw a couple of dollars here or there, or you'll just play free to play, and that's totally fine.
Right. And that's typically, so this is all leading up to a story of the debate and argument we had, which I find to be hilarious, and I wanted to make a video on it because, I mean, this channel's about our opinions, experiences, and discussions in the world of gaming, and this is one of our experiences. So Houston and I play a game that many of you may have heard of and many of you may not have heard of called Marvel Strike Force. Marvel Strike Force is an auto-battler RPG team strategy game. Generally, the game is very pay to win, as in every character comes out. It has a cash a price tag attached to them. You can play the game free to play. It is an uphill battle style game if you're going to do free to play, but it is very doable. But it's one of those games where every other day there's a new cash offer thrown in your face. I'd say the only other game that mobile game that I've seen to this level of throwing cash offers in your face is probably Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes.
Which we also do play occasionally. It's not a terrible game, but they do that. They throw these cash offers in your face all the time. The game does have a deep strategy element, but they've also managed to make the auto battle, the idle system, so good you never need to actually learn how to play the game on a general consensus, leaving you the option of playing if you want to or just pressing auto and watching your guys beat everyone up. The game to a higher tier, if you want to play it like beyond just farming up your mats, you can join a guild, and a guild can run raids. I think it's 2 at a time. I've never seen 3 pop at one time, but I don't run the guild.
I'm pretty sure it's only 2 because you get only so many raid keys.
Right. You get raid keys by going on and spending the maximum amount of energy you could spend in a day, which traditionally, if you're going to play free to play, would require you to log on at least 3 times a day. You do that, your guild gets that, they can then activate a raid. The secondary guild thing you can do is join a war battle, where basically your team gets one shot at an enemy team, you fight against them, and then you slowly whittle down somebody else's shield helicarrier. That is the extent of the guild participation. Now, at the way that Houston and I have played up to the beginning of the story, and I'll let you take point at telling the beginning of the story, Houston, because I've been talking a lot, is we log on, we do all the dailies, we get as much of the free stuff done as we can in a day. We normally help our guild out by logging in maybe a second time in the day to run the energy down a second time, normally for sitting on the toilet or something. I mean, come on, who doesn't play their app games on a toilet?
Every time.
And then that's it. Like, we didn't do much else beyond that. We participated where we could participate. We ran down our normal energy, and we played the game generally free to play with the occasional cash buy, but I wouldn't say that we wail at all in that game. So
no.
Why don't you tell the beginning of how this casual versus hardcore debate happened?
So Benny started it with saying we would log in, we'll do our dailies. I'll jump into the raid if I can. I'll take out some war offenses or defenses, whatever they are. I'll do some war
Which is a
fights when I
PvP
can.
thing.
PvP stuff.
Yeah.
I'll do it when I can because not unfortunately, it's good for us. It's helping us grow faster than if we were to be in a lower guild. We are in a higher guild than my account's ready for, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I can't take as many fights as some of the big people in the guild. And the guild leader knows this. He's fine. So we've doing this. We're playing casually. The guild leader now would like to step down because they want their account to advance a little bit more. So they need to go to a bigger guild. Totally fine. 100% acceptable. I get it. He wants to grow his account, and our guild isn't helping him because we can't at the time. Participation was down. Me and Benny are locked behind a level wall where we can't get our characters up to the level they're at right now. So he steps down. Totally fine. He goes to more of a hardcore guild so he can get his Doom raids done, which is the highest level of raid you can do right now. And after that, our guild starts to fall apart a little.
Well, the biggest people have now left the guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our friend who had one of his accounts, because he's got two, stayed, and he starts to try to build it back up, which was really nice of him, and it was starting to work until he invited the guild leader of the big hardcore guild to join the casual guild,
Right.
as we were told.
Now, at this point, Houston and I have both said that if you're trying to make two hardcore guilds, which would require daily reminders, getting on 3 times a day, making sure you maximize everything you could possibly do, logging into an exterior website, and then they'll tell you what lanes to do in a raid instead of just logging on and doing the raid run, is a whole bunch of things you need to do. We both said that if you are going to make another hardcore guild, we get it. This kind of thing happens. We had a fun ride. We'll leave and go join a casual. And the response we got from him and the former leader was, no, they've arranged the entire thing to remain a casual guild, that we are free to log on, do what we want to do, and then log off. It doesn't matter. So we both said, okay, if that's what we're a part of still, we'll do it.
So there's that part. You heard it. We're supposed to be the casual guild. This guy comes in, and he is the leader of the guilds our previous guild leader left to go build up his account with.
Right.
So it's like, all right, that's fine, whatever. And now we have to move our Discord to a different Discord server because he doesn't want 2 separate Discord servers. Now there's an entire rule set in place where we need to make sure we spend 600 energy every day.
Which requires, like I said, if you're not doing anything extra, you have to log in 3 times a day to a mobile game.
Yep. Next, make sure you get 4,000 world points or whatever it is. It's something, I don't know how long that lasts, but you get 1 to 2 points per battle you take. So it would take a while to get to 4,000. They're like, oh no, just through casual play, you could get that, no problem. If you're doing all 5 of your arenas every day, if you're getting your 600 raid tokens every day.
Basically doing everything you can do in the game on a daily basis, which is now adding hours to logging on to Marvel Strike Force. It's not a quick little thing.
Nope. After that, Discord was mandatory. We had to be on Discord. We needed to link our account to an exterior site. Something we mentioned earlier makes more of a hardcore thing. Make sure, well, no, that rule got taken out. But originally it was make sure you. Well,
the rule got taken out because I started to argue about this. So all these rules get put in place. We have to make sure we're doing arena war. We have to make sure we're doing guild battle. We have to make sure we're logging it 3 times a day. We have to make sure we link up to an exterior website. We have to move Discords where they can ping you constantly. And so right off the bat, I already have a lot of these like these discords for mobile games kind of in a separate folder checked off, and I don't mind participating, but I don't look at the discords. And the rule that I normally have is if you want me to participate with my accounts, then you just need to tell me what you want me to do. Otherwise, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And this isn't an argument of like, deal with me. It's literally, and I've said this to other mobile games that I'm in, I'll just go. It's not really that big a deal to me. Like, I like participating on this high tier, but I'm not going to force, like, my requirement is I can't be pinged 80 times a day. No. So since that's my requirement, I'll just go if your requirement is I have to get pinged 80 times a day. So I kind of fought a little bit about moving discords and stuff, but I was told just mute the discord and go ahead and ignore it. Okay, fine. That's fine. And then I was told continue what you're doing. Well, I moved the discord and I didn't mute it initially. This other guild leader who now is in our guild has decided that everyone isn't doing the job properly and begins to ping almost hourly to remind people to do various things in this game. I started to count this up. One day was like 11 pings. Another day was like 15. And these pings don't happen during a general course of a day. Like they happen between 6 to 8 and I'm just getting pinged a bunch. Like there was a ping at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 7 a.m., 11 a.m. It was like, dude, do you sleep?
So I did mute the server. And this exterior bot was able to send into private messages your raid assignment. I got that at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that muted because I didn't realize I was going to get that at 3 o'clock in the morning. My phone pinged at 3 o'clock in the morning and woke me up, so I knew what raid lanes I had to go to.
And like, bear in mind, the raid is open for about 18 hours or something like that.
No, it's open for 24 hours.
So, like, you don't need to be woken up at 3 a.m. to rush into this raid.
No.
So
another thing I did forget to mention.
What?
For this exterior bot, Benny and me both got a private message from this guild leader. And Benny didn't respond because it was in the middle of the workday.
I work, right, guys? I work.
2 hours. He's like, I'm really going to need you not to ignore these messages or we're going to have to kick you.
Right.
2 hours. I read the rules. It says, please respond within 24 to 48 hours to a private message from an officer in the guild. He gave Benny 2 hours before threatening to kick him.
I have my Discord open all day because a lot of my business runs through Discord. It's in the office. It's on a computer. It stays open. I walked away at like lunch. I had lunch and we had like something was going well and we just didn't have a second half of the day. So I walked away for lunch. I went over. I started playing a PlayStation game. Nowhere near my computer. 1 p.m. in the afternoon, I get a ping basically telling me that I'm going to have to go sign up for this exterior website. And I have to do it ASAP, like right now. And 2 hours later at 3, I get the follow-up ping like Houston said. And he basically said, if you ignore me, you're getting kicked. And I responded with, laugh out loud. Are you kidding me? You give me 2 hours to respond? I'll get to it when I get to it. I never signed up on that website, by the way. Never did it.
No comment.
So I leave it at that. I don't sign up on the website. This is what I noticed. This guy's like a jackass. Like, because I was kind of ignoring what's going on at this point. I was told to just get on and do my thing. But now I'm getting private messages threatening to get kicked from the guild that I've helped build over the last year. So I start looking at the chat. I'm like, what is going on over here? And I start seeing all these pings that I've had muted. Like, oh, a 9 this day, 12 this day. And I start telling Houston, did he really ping 13 times to remind people to go do things? So I was like, okay. But I agreed to just go with the flow and do whatever. So I just left it alone. And I also didn't sign up on the website. So I go by and I'm talking to the other guild leader and he's like, just give me your account information. I'll attach it to all of the exterior stuff and then delete it so that this guy is pleased. And I told him, I'm like, no, I'm not giving you my account information so you can link it up just to please some narcissistic guy. Like, he could get over himself. I told the other guild leader again, if you guys are going hardcore, I will leave. Just tell me that and I'll leave. Like, I'm not arguing against that. But if you're staying casual, I'm going to argue about this.
Yep. And then I had because he was mentioning how we needed to get the 600 raid key to such energy. And I messaged, and I'm like, listen, I'm not going to play this game this whole month. It's not always easy. I get 75 power cores. You can buy power cores with money. but I get 75 guaranteed daily through Arena. On top of any I get through my milestone. It costs about 250 power cores to refresh energy enough to hit the 600. If you want to do it in the 30 minutes, he says it takes a day.
Yeah. So,
and I'm just like, all right, well, one, there's an event going on right now that doesn't count towards the raid keys, and I'm much more going to spend my power cores there because I'm going to unlock a cool character as opposed to raid keys where we're going to go do a raid. We don't need a raid up 24/7. That's all I'm saying.
But so that happens and he pings him. So basically what happened so his debate about the login came out of another debate the guy had. A few of us missed a check-in that we had to do. It's basically what it was. Check in on this tab on the website. And the guy pinged twice about it and then insisted we have to reread the rules because we missed it. Now, me and Houston and a few people were just busy that day. Like it was just, we're busy and we're not logging onto a mobile game. So I responded with just a goofy image. So casual, something along those lines. It was something out of the Schitt's Creek show of somebody being like, casual, we're so casual, like that. The guy took offense to it, insisting that I reread the rules and I understand the guild that I'm in. And I responded to him, and this was the only time I was abrasive about it, but I basically said, grow up. This is supposed to be a casual guild, and I'm going to log in when I have time. You will get me on my schedule, not your schedule. I'm not going to sit here waiting for some little shit to ping me 12 times a day. So you're going to be ignored. That was deleted by this guy. Okay, I called him a name. Fine, I'll give him that one. I said grow up. My little shit line was actually related in general to people pinging me to play a mobile game. But I could totally see why you would assume I was directly calling that one person out, and I left it alone. Like, I'm fine. I called him a little shit, and I told him to grow up. Houston then put his little post in about participating on a daily basis, and then a couple guys put in their post about participating on a daily basis and how they feel that we're kind of having a problem with casuals. So I made my own little post, and I said, look, I'm all for this guild progressing. I'm all for our guild finally growing and getting bigger and better. But the problem I have is that this individual is giving no respect to the individuals who have built this guild. He has this attitude that we have to listen to him or he's going to threaten to kick us. And then I told the story about how he gave me 2 hours to respond to him before giving me a threat to kick. And I basically said that I feel that he's being disrespectful to me and the previous members of the guild, and that I think that we can work this out. His wording needs to be improved upon. That was what I said. And he deleted it. Deleted on the spot. I was like, okay, I didn't call anyone a name in that one, and we're all expressing our opinions. So I reposted it.
Deleted.
He immediately deleted it. He then says something along the lines of basically he deleted it because he doesn't want drama in the guild. And I responded with, I didn't cause drama. I stated an opinion. And he goes, well, if you clean up what you're saying, I'll let you repost it. And I responded with, don't you worry, I'm rewriting it right now. So he's mad at me for calling him disrespectful. Now, to explain why I called him disrespectful real quick, our guild is a level 80 guild in this video game. That takes a year and a half to get to. Okay, meaning that regardless of the high up players leaving, all of us have participated on a small scale to a large scale to get this guild to where it is. And this guy's coming in and threatened to kick out the founders because we don't want to get on the same page as him and listen to his pings. So now the other leader is in a private chat talking to him, and I repost the message. And he lets it sit for like 5 minutes and deletes it. And I get a message from the other leader, if you take out the part about him being disrespectful, he'll let you post it. And I said, hell no, that's what he's doing. And by deleting this message, he's proving me right.
He demanded respect, but would not give you respect.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, reposted, deleted, reposted, deleted. I had it on copy paste at this point. And there was a tally at the top of the message. This is the 11th time such and such has deleted this message. Reposted. So he got to a point where I left it up. And we seemingly had all come to terms and everything. He left it up, and the arrangement was like, it was something along the line. Me and him talked, and me and that guy talked, and it was basically like, He explained that he feels that I'm not taking into account the other 29 people or whatever in the guild. I said, on the contrary, I agree with a lot of your points, but you don't need to be handling it the way you're doing it. I said you're being disrespectful with the way you're wording it and the way you're handling these situations, and that's what I feel is going on. We could easily take care of this, and we can work on this together. And he said, okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we're like on the same page. The message is still up. We're good. He deletes the message again. So I send him a message. If you delete that message one more time, I am going to privately message that message to everyone in this guild so that everyone knows what you're doing. And he goes, hold on, let's talk about this. I posted it in the main thing. And he deletes it again and then hits me up a second time. Can we talk about this first? And I said, sure, right after I finished going through everybody on the Discord list and sending this. And I just started dropping the message to everyone with an apology.
I got the message, even though I've gotten the message like 3 times from Benny already. But he said it to me again.
I said it to everyone so that everyone knew I was doing this. And I opened it with an apology. Sorry for the wall of text. I have to send it this way because this guy is doing this.
Was it petty? 100%. Do I disagree with Benny? Not even a little.
So now the other guild, like all the guild members are starting to hit me up. Like, what is this guy doing? He's literally proving your point. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I haven't even done anything. All I did was argue that we're supposed to be the casual guild. And I didn't even argue that much. I said one thing and then posted my message. So,
and it's wow, my words, they disappeared, guys. It was just crazy because literally I was watching the chat. Should I have been working? Yeah, but I wasn't because I had to see what Benny was doing at this point. And I'm just reading it and he's posted and it's gone and posted and it's gone and it's gone. All right, so this guy would like our respect, but he's not going to give Ben respect because Ben's stating an opinion about how the guild's being handled.
So this then turns into this guy starts to try to find a way to kick me. Now, at this point, I've separated from the situation. I did what I'm going to do. I don't care enough about this game to give it any more of my time at this point. I've stated my opinion, and I said to the other guild leader, the one that we're friends with, if you are going hardcore, just tell me, and I will leave. And he goes, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go back to playing my game. I've said my piece, and everyone has my message now.
And then the next day, we get a new ping. They're making a new guild for people like Benny and me called Omega Prime. And if we would like to go into that, we can. So now it's like, other guild leader, our friend, this guy's trying to steal the guild.
Yeah.
He wants another hardcore guild without putting in the work and starting from a fresh guild. He wants you to take us to a fresh guild so he can have a free level 80 guild.
He wants all the people.
Zero work.
He wants all the people, which isn't just me in Houston. Like, I'd say probably about...
There was more in there.
There was like 10 to 15 of the former founders that didn't want these pings.
Some of the officers were on Benny and my side with this because they're like, yeah, we're not supposed to be going this hardcore.
Right. So what ended up happening was this guy starts arguing that he wants to move everyone who doesn't want to get his pings and doesn't want to deal with him and doesn't want to give him respect to a separate guild and take the level 80 guild. The former leader now gets wind of this. So our friend guild leader then tells him, no, that's not happening. I'm not giving up the guild that these guys built. The guy who caused all these problems then goes to the former leader and tells him that he got the okay from the current leader. The former leader then tells him, I don't like that. The problematic guy then goes back to the current leader and says the former leader says it's okay. So now he's manipulating and lying to the leadership.
Because they're not going to talk to each other. They haven't been friends for over a year now.
So they talk to each other.
Why would they talk?
So they talk to each other, realize what he's doing, and then me and Houston get pings. Bear in mind, we haven't been a part of it up to this point anymore. We haven't been involved in the incident. We've stepped away. I'm done. I did what I'm going to do, and unless he gives me a reason, I have no reason. So we get a message that everyone's coming back, and they're going to stage this where they're going to leave. They're all going to leave at the same time to screw over the guy that is trying to screw them over. And I'm just laughing. Like, okay.
It was petty and beautiful.
The way they did it, yeah. So they leave, they come back to the guild, and I'm still under the assumption, well, this is over now. This is over. He's been kicked out of our guild. Everyone's gone back to where they should be. This is over. But now I'm getting messages from all of our current guild members that he thinks that I orchestrated this massive coup, co-op, whatever, that I orchestrated this whole thing, that they're all siding with me because I'm a content creator. I'm the weakest guy in the guild. I'll tell you right now, they ain't siding with me on a decision what to do with the guild.
Nope.
And I'm just sitting here like, now the argument, this is now like 4 or 5 days after the event happened. And I'm like, I have so much real estate in this guy's head. It's so funny.
You're just living up there for free.
I'm like, I haven't even done anything. And as far as he's concerned, I orchestrated this whole thing. I staged it. I did it all. He's like, I treated you all like family. Like, what? No. I don't want to be in your family if that's how you're treating your family.
But at the end of the day, we got our guild back. We're all happy again. I told the old new current leader that I will be more hardcore for him if he wants me to, because he showed me respect.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I get my 600 energy daily. I'll make sure I get that donation, because I don't want to screw you over because of this whole thing. But yeah.
That's the story. I told him the same thing. I was like, I'll try a little bit harder, but I'm probably not going to change that much about my play cycle. It's basic. I'll get a little harder at it, but like same rule. If you want me to go, just ask. I am not going to fight it. I know I'm the weakest. That's why I didn't get that involved in the whole argument. My argument was, don't tell me it's casual and then proceed to do everything I don't consider casual. You know what I mean? Like,
we already go hardcore in other games. We don't need this one.
Well, I go hardcore in the game. For me, I go hardcore in the games. It's actually, I found this to be funny, that my mental habits. If the game doesn't force me to buy things to progress, I will normally spend money and be hardcore.
I've also learned, if I'm not told how to play my game, there's a good chance I'm going to play it the way you want me to. But if you tell me, I'm going to make sure I don't.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the story of how we had an argument about hardcore versus casual. And like I said, I know we've discussed this multiple times in this channel, but we wanted to tell you the fun story about how I pretty much drove a guy insane and now live in his head for free.
You staged a coup.
I staged a coup by doing nothing. All I did was make people aware, like, hey, I'm not happy about this. Are you happy? Unhappy? Are you happy about this? Oh, you're not either? Oh, you're not happy about this? You're not either? Yeah, see, we're all not happy about this. All right, I'll see you guys later. That's what I did. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this whole long episode of Absolutely PlayStation Steam Gamers. I'm Benny, and that's Houston. And check back almost daily for discussions, news, opinions, and just our adventures in video games. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.